Hello guys, welcome back to another amazing tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to be showing us how to create this super awesome flyer. Very simple, easy to follow. All right, please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and subscribe. We upload videos every week on flyer designs and different aspects of graphics. Okay, so you won't want to miss anything we are dropping here, so go ahead and subscribe. All right, so first things first, we're going to be creating um a new document, and I'm going to call this short flyer. All right, so the width is 1080, and then the height is 1350. All right, so the other settings you can leave it like so. All right, so that's cool. So the first thing we are going to be doing is we're going to be giving it a solid color. So I'm going to come to solid color. All right, so this is the color I'm using. Right, you can see it here. So I'm going to give this color. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some images. All right, let me close this. So I'm going to bring in some images. I'm going to use this image right here. Right, so I'm going to drag this to my work. All right, so I'm going to just position this here. Okay, yeah, that's cool. And then I'm going to mask this layer. All right, and then pick my brush tool, letter B on your keyboard, and then your brush tool. Make sure this is set to black, right? And then your opacity like so, and then flow. So I'm going to just brush this like this, right? So I'm going to brush this like this, like this. If your brush is too small, you can reduce it. It's too big, right? And then yeah, so you can reduce your brush size here. All right, so that's it for this image. And then I'm going to change this to multiply. All right, I'm going to reduce this to, let's say, 25. Yeah, I'm okay with this. I'm going to bring this second image as well. Right, I'm going to drag this to bits. Yeah, I think I'm okay with this. All right, so I can scale this up a bit like this. All right, so I think this is okay. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to mask it, and for this image, before, let me undo that. All right, so for this image, because the first one was black and white, but this one I want to actually change this to, to remove the saturation. So I'm going to do Ctrl Shift U, but before then I'm going to rasterize this. Right click and rasterize, and then Ctrl Shift U, right, to make it, to desaturate it. So I'm going to max it and then pick my brush, and then I'm going to brush like so. So I get this right. So I think I'm okay with this. Alright, so I think that's okay by me. And then I'm going to choose multiply as well. There we go, okay. And then I'm going to reduce this as well. Let's say 26, 22. Alright, I think that's okay. That's fine. So I can just scale this a little bit. Okay, so that's fine. I like this. All right, so let me remove this key, and then I'm going to highlight everything, and I'll group it Ctrl G, and then I call this my BG for background. So I like grouping my work. It makes my work looks more organized. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to pick my text tool, right, letter T, and I'm going to, all right, I'm going to change this to angelic child. All right, so I'm going to type shift. All right, I'm going to type shift, and then I'm going to Control T to scale this up. I just want to have this effect on the background. I'm going to scale this up. so I can zoom out and then scale this up like so. All right, just scale so. All right, let me check this. Okay, yeah, so I think I'm okay with this. Basically give this a white color. All right, so I'm going to do something. I'm going to bring in my text. So I'm going to bring this inside this. All right, so holding my shift key, I'm going to rotate these edges. All right, so I'm just scale this up a little like so. Yeah, okay, so this is okay. So I'm going to power click this to the text. All right, so right click and do power click. All right, so that's fine. Okay, so I'm just, this is basically still part of the background. Right, I can still increase this if I want to. All right, so I think that's fine. That's fine. All right. So the next thing I want to do is I also want to group this and then and call this BG text. Right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come to hue and saturation, and then I will want to power clip this. So I'm going to click on this so that I can power clip it on the BG text. I don't want it to apply to every other to my background. Right. So I'm basically going to reduce it. So let's see. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm okay with this. All right, so you can see it blends with my background now. So I'm okay with this. Right, so I can just still probably just group this again and then call this PG text. All right, so this just makes my work organized basically. Yeah, so I'm going to bring in my images now. All right, so I'm going to bring this here. So this is going to be my main image, so it's going to be at the front here. All right, I'm going to bring in the next image, which is this one. All right, so I'm going to scale this up so you ensure your images are of the same size. All right, so I'm going to scale this up. All right, like so. Okay, that's fine. So I'm going to take this below this image so I can stay at the back. All right, I'm going to scale this down a little bit like this. Okay, okay, like this. I think this fine. All right, I think this fine. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my third image. Okay, I'm going to scale this down again, like so. Okay, so basically you want to take a little time on your image so that you can organize it, arrange it, so you don't want to mess up with this. All right, so you just want your images to be of the same sizes basically. Right, especially the edge adjustments. All right, I'm going to take this up a little like this. All right, so this one. Let me check my design. Okay. All right, so that's fine. So what I'm going to do is all right, let me adjust this image. Okay, let me use this one. All right, so let me use this one. I'm going to come to filter, camera raw. All right, but before then, let me just mask these images and then just adjust them. All right, so I'm going to mask all of these images. All right, I'm going to mask all of them. I'm going to start with this one. I'll pick my brush tool and then I'll just brush it up. All right, so I'm going to come to this one as well, and then I'm going to brush it like so. All right, so that I have that uniform. Alright, so I'm going to brush this as well. Okay, I'm going to brush this. Alright, so this is fine. Alright, so this is fine. Okay. Alright. So basically it's okay. Alright, so that's fine. Alright, so you want to make sure your image is selected, and then you come to filter, camera raw. Alright, so I'm going to come to the basics, and then I'm going to adjust the texture. I'm going to give some texture to this image. Alright, I'm going to give some clarity. Alright, I'm going to just play around with my highlights. I will use the blacks a little. Alright, so basically I think that's okay. Alright, so I'm going to play around with my degrees a little bit. Alright, just a little bit, like so. And then I'm going to come to details and then increase my sharpening. Alright, so this is the before and after. Alright, so I'm okay with this. So that's fine. Alright, so one thing I want to do to increase my speed, I'm going to hold in my alt. I'm going to click on this camera raw filter and then drag it to this one. So the effect has applied to my second image. You can see. Alright, so the effect, this is, you can see the effect has applied to my second image. So I'm going to do this the same thing for the third image. Holding my alt, I'm going to drag this effect onto my third image. Alright, so like so, that's also applied to the effect, that's also applied to this image. So all my images now have this camera raw effect. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all of them and then Ctrl G. Alright, so that's fine. So the next thing I want to do, I'll create a new layer. Alright, and then I'll pick this color. Alright, I'm going to pick this color. Ensure this color is picked. Alright, so this is the color, and I'm going to pick my brush tool and increase my brush size. Alright, so I'm going to brush here. In my last video we used shape for this, so that's one amazing thing about Photoshop. You can basically get results in different ways. Alright, so for this particular tutorial I'm going to use my brush, not my shape. So you can still use your shape to get these results. Alright, so that's it. So this, I'm going to call this image. Alright, so my flyer is actually coming to life. You can see, very easy to follow. Please subscribe, guys. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Alright, that way it helps me, it encourages me to create more videos like this. Alright, so that's fine. So the next thing I want to do, let me check this flyer. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is actually to type. Alright, so let me just group this and then call this my shadow. Alright, so I'm going to open this shadow. So on top of this layer, I'm actually going to bring another texture. I'm going to bring this texture. Alright, so I'm going to hold in my shift, I'm going to rotate this, and then I'm going to scale this up. Alright, like so. So this is fine. And I'm going to change the blend mode to overlay. Right, and I'm going to reduce the opacity to let's say 22. So that's fine. you can see the before and then after. It just pops my design. So I like that effect. Right, so that's fine. So the next thing I want to do is actually to bring in the text. Alright, so I'm going to type in, okay, no, I need to bring in the text. I'm going to type, okay, let me reduce this a little, okay. So let this, I need to bring this text above all my layers. Alright, so I'm going to type shift. Alright, so that's fine. So for this text, I'm actually going to choose this text effect. Alright, so you can see the name there. And then for my font, I'm actually going to go with 165. 165. Alright, so that's fine. So this is okay. So you can see our design is coming to life. The next thing I'm going to do is to type the experience. Alright, so I'm going to type experience. Alright. And Ctrl T to scale this down. Okay, so I'm going to take this up here. And then I'm going to change the text to orthography. Alright, and then I'm going to give this yellow. I'm going to give this yellow color. Okay, so I'm going to just adjust this. Alright, so you can see our flyer is coming to life. I'm just going to adjust this. Alright, so that's fine. So I'm going to group this together and then call this my text. Alright, so that's fine. So the next thing I want to do, I want to just work on this background. It looks so plain here, so I'm going to create another layer on top of my layers, and then I'm going to pick my brush tool and ensure this color I used earlier. Alright, for my background, I'm just going to bring it up, and then I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to just brush a little at the edges here, so you can just give some light, alright, to my background. Right, so that's fine. Okay, so it makes my want the pure background. I need to just adjust this image just a little. I need to just shift this up a little bit. Okay. And this, let me bring it down. Right. So that's fine. And let's bring this layer down here. Okay, so that's fine. So the next thing I want to do, I can actually bring in my logo now. Alright, so you can just bring in your logo at this point. Alright, so just adjust this and pick it up. Alright, so just make it be at the center. Okay, that's fine. So the next thing is to bring the name of the ministers. Alright, so I'm just going to bring these names here. I don't want to start typing that. I'm just going to drag this into this. Right, I'm just going to adjust this. So just go ahead and type the name of the ministers. Alright, so but I don't want to take so much of our time. So this effect, I've actually dropped it in the so for this icon, I've actually dropped it in the link to the resources. Just check the link in the video for the resources. Okay, so the next thing, I'll actually bring in our text. So I'm actually going to drag this here. I don't want to take so much time typing this text out. Oh no, Ctrl Z. I actually just want to bring in this date. fine. All right, so I'm going to okay, let me come here and then okay, this date and time here. Okay, I'm going to bring this here and I'm going to adjust this. Right, so okay, all right, so this is fine. I can actually bring my text, lower my text a little bit. So all right, so I think our design is coming to life. I can actually scale this up a little bit. All right, all right, all right. Alright, so basically this is how you design your flyers, guys. Please give me a like, subscribe, and drop a comment below if you like this video. Alright, drop a comment below. Okay, so this is it. Alright, so the final thing I'm going to do, I'm actually going to do Control Shift Alternate E. Alright, to create a snapshot of our flyer. Okay, now I'm going to come to Filter, Camera Raw. All right, and then under my basics I'm actually going to increase the texture around let's see. Right, so this fine, and then my clarity I'm going to increase it all the way to 42 40. Yeah, so this is fine. All right, so I'm going to play around with my blacks. I'm going to reduce it a little bit. Okay, yes, so I just like my design. I like the way the images are popping out. Alright, so I'm just going to play around with my highlights. I'm going to reduce it a little. Okay, so that's fine. And then I'm going to come to my details. Alright, on my details I'm going to increase it a little. Okay, so this is fine. You can see the before and after. So this is a game changer. Okay, so I'm going okay. All right, so this is it. Our flyer is ready. So you can use these concepts to create your flyer. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a like, drop a comment, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. See you guys in the next video.